Hi everybody, it's Shenandoah, or Squishy Stitches. How are you? It's, again, been a couple weeks, but last week was Father's Day, so I was busy with that. Yeah, it's been a pretty eventful couple of weeks. I've changed my hair, greenish, bluish. Yeah, I like it. Been a busy week at work. I started a new position. It was just a lateral move. I work customer service in a call center. Yeah, that's fun. And I moved over to accounts receivable, so if y'all get lawn service and don't pay your bills, I'm gonna be calling you. Ironically, I actually really prefer it. I did it last year and I really liked it. So I'm happy. I'm nuts, but I'm happy. So that was good news. Things that have happened this week. And last week, not a lot, but little events. Last week we had a bat in the house. You know, like a bat. And I like bats. I think they're cute. I mean, I don't like them flying around in my house. But, yeah. I was sitting there just stitching away, watching a TV show, I don't even know what. And all of a sudden this thing comes tearing out of the kitchen with my cat hot on its, not heels, I don't know what you'd call it. It's a flying critter. And I screamed like a little girl at a Justin Bieber concert. And then I hid behind the curtain. And it kept swooping around, and I kept screaming and throwing the curtain at it. And it was an adventure. And so my husband works third shift. He had left like 5 minutes ago. 5. He'd waited 5 minutes, he could have gotten rid of the bat for me, but he didn't. And so the thought was, okay, well, I could just go to bed, but my son wakes up at 5 a.m. every day. And he comes downstairs and watches TV for about a couple hours till I get up. He's 8. He gets himself some food. He watches cartoons. No big deal. But so I'm like, okay, I can't leave this bat in here flying around for my kid to come downstairs. That's not a good thing. What if it has rabies? I don't know. I think it's just, I have a 100-year-old house. I know bats can get into the attic because they have before. And I don't really care because I can't get into my attic. There's no access. It's just for insulation. But the way old houses are built, at least in this area, is the plaster and lath. So they put the studs up, they put the plaster and lath, and it's like big dead air between walls. And the bat must have gotten in there and somehow gotten into the ductwork or something and flew out because we have the giant old-fashioned grates. They're really cool. I'll show it to you sometime. But I mean, holes like this, a bat could easily get out of that. So I'm sitting there, just freaking out behind a curtain, screaming my head up like a crazy person. My windows are open. My neighbors probably thought somebody was murdering me. And it's like, okay, so I have to do something. There was a laundry basket right next to the window with sheets and towels. I was like, I bet I could throw a sheet over it. Because the last thing I want to do, besides have my son come downstairs with a flying bat, is to find a dead bat that my cat ate half of or something. Because that could happen too. Puka's a little huntress. She's caught mice and bats and squirrels. I don't know how she got a squirrel. She's an indoor cat. I don't know how she got a squirrel. I will never know how she got a squirrel. She's never been outside. Well, once or twice. And it freaked her out. So yeah, I don't know how she got a squirrel. But she did. That was an interesting story. Just sitting there watching TV with my husband, and she's batting at something, and I'm like, what is that? What is that? Honey, what is that? And so he went and looked, and it's a dead squirrel. I don't know. I don't even know how a squirrel got in my house. I don't know. I don't know how the mice get in. We've had an exterminator out. We've had the house sealed. I don't know. It's an old house. That's all I know. Our house officially turned 100 years old last year. So I live in a 101-year-old house that has its own issues. We still have the old fuse box. So if we blow a fuse, it's not just flip a switch. You have to take a flashlight and find out which one is blown, and you have to unscrew it and hopefully you have the right one and put a new one in. Yeah, that led to some interesting things too. We had a dryer, and apparently a fuse blew. Tried changing all the fuses. The fuse, no, dryer didn't work. It would run, but no heat. Got a new dryer. Same thing with the new dryer. Found out it was 2 fuses that blew. Spent $400 on a new dryer we didn't need. And they had just taken our old dryer. So, what'd you do, right? Anyway, back to the bat. So, the laundry basket is right next to me, and there's sheets in it. And so I grabbed one of the sheets, and I'm holding it above my head, like, I was scared. And so finally it flew. I threw the sheet up in the air, all dramatic like that, and didn't see anything flying. And the sheet was one of those little thin microfiber ones. It took a little while to settle, and I'm just staring at it going, is the bat in there? And finally it settled enough, and I could see a little wiggling, so the bat was in there. And so it's like, okay, bat's on the floor. What now? Slowly started wadding it up. I didn't want to hurt the bat. Bats eat their weight in bugs every day. I hate bugs. I'd rather have the bat than the bugs. So I wadded it up. Somehow didn't let the bat out. I don't know how. It was a miracle. And took it outside. And my neighbor's outside with their little chihuahua. And they just kind of look at me because I walk out there with the sheet and I throw it in the yard. And then I'm looking at the sheet and trying to untangle it and, get the bat out. And then, finally the bat gets out, flies up, I scream, run inside. They probably thought I was completely nuts. I think I'm completely nuts with that bat. Oh my God. So yeah, that was an adventure. But I did it. I got it out. All on my own. Oy. And then the only other interesting thing that happened was my kid. He's 8. I've already said that. He's 8-year-old boy. He has autism, so I'm not going to say he's mentally younger, but he's not as aware of his environment as a normal 8-year-old is. But we were letting him play at his friend's house who lives across the street from, not even across the street, across the alley. And, they're friends. It's cool. And then get a call from my friend who lives 8 blocks away. Riker just showed up at my house with somebody. Yeah, Riker and this kid wandered 8 blocks over to my friend's house. I'm thankful he went somewhere he knew. We walk there all the time. We go visit there all the time. She's a good friend. We were just there tonight. She's pagan, so it was a solstice party. A couple days late, but still. So, bonfire, food, couple drinks. No big deal. But yeah, they wandered 8 blocks. Both of them are only 8. And I know I used to walk that far when I was 8. But not along these busy streets where I live. I was walking back roads in this tiny little podunk town with 400 people living there. In the middle of the mountains of Colorado. We had a grocery store that was probably the size of your average Walgreens. That size. There's a couple restaurants. One was expensive, one was cheap. It's a little town called Nederland. It's in the mountains, about 8,000 feet up above sea level, about population of 2,000 now. Back then it was a lot less. Yeah, you can look up Dead Men Festival, and that it's held in Nederland. That's from some crazy guy whose wife died, and he put her on dry ice. And his best friend died, and he did the same thing. He kept him in his shed on dry ice, because he thought eventually with cryogenics he'd be able to revive them from dry ice. It doesn't work that way. Your cells shatter. But for some insane reason, it became a town holiday, and they called it the Dead Man Festival, and people travel there from around the world. That's the town I grew up in. Or the day the National Guard shut everything down because some guy on acid said they're invading us. They're invading us. And so they thought somebody was actually there, because I don't know why. And the guy was tripping on acid and thought it was aliens invading tiny little Netherlands. Yeah. It was an interesting place. Probably still is, but I haven't been there in 20 years. My mom still lives there, but I haven't been there. So yeah, Google that one. That's where I grew up. It probably explains a lot. I went to school in Boulder, Colorado, so any of you who know Boulder, I grew up there, went to Boulder High. You probably knew me, maybe. Probably not. I knew a lot of people, but I was a goth, so I hung out with the goths, and if you weren't a goth, or a theater kid, or a band kid, you wouldn't know me. Okay. Anyway, that was my couple weeks. I don't think anything else has really happened. Not around here, anyway. Yeah. Can't think of anything interesting that's not lawn related, because I work for a lawn care company. Interesting fact. If you have a good, gorgeous lawn, and the temperatures go hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, and you get a lot of rain, you put fertilizer on it, you get lawn blight. Your lawn will look dead less than 24 hours after the lawn blight. And 10 days later, it'll look perfect again. Go figure. That's the interesting lawn fact for you. Sorry, I got a loose piece of skin. I've been poking myself. Anyway, been working on a few projects. First one is the fairy one that I got for my birthday from my son that he wants in his room. So it's this. However, there's like 6 major counting mistakes in the moon. So I gave up. I started parking over in the corner and slowly ripping out the moon. So that's what I did right in there. Because I got frustrated trying to find the mistake and was like, just screw it. I'm just going to start over in the corner, park it. This is it's not, I guess most people would call it confetti. I don't, because I do max color fades. But it's got a lot of color changes. It's a bit complicated for that. So parking's probably the easiest way. But it's that one. The son wants fairies in his room. It'll be cute. His walls are already navy, so that'll work. The next one I worked on was this one. The Smoky Mountain Cats. And I got most of the next row of cats showing up. So, last time you saw it, just this row was done. With maybe a little bit of this cat over here showing up. This cat right here. No, it would be this cat over here. Sorry, confusing you. So I got those cats in, and now you can see the ears of the next set popping up. So I did that. That was good. I've been missing this project. And I forgot my phone. I need to show you something that's on my phone. I'll be right back. Hold, please. Are you going to say hi? Come on. Say hi. Look, it's Dimples. Look up here. Oh, Dusty, are you jealous? Nope. You guys haven't met Dusty. Give me a second. Scooch, Dimples. Scooch, please. Scooch, please. Dusty, come here. Come here, Dusty. Oh, there goes Dimples. Dusty. Dusty. Come here, Dusty. Come here. Comedy hour. Come on. Come on. Come on, Dusty. Dimples, yeah. Dusty, come here. Come here. Oh, there's my big baby. What are you doing? Why are you sticking your head under my butt? Come here. Dusty, come on. Come here. Oh, lift your head. That's Dusty. This one is the big cuddler. Dusty, are you a good boy? Are you a good boy? I'm trying to get a view of him. Yeah. You're a good boy. Did I find him a good spot? Yeah, those are my dogs. You've met Dimples, you just haven't met Dusty. Oh. Dimples, don't get jealous. Go play. Okay. Doggy interruption. Hi, Dimps. Oh, what? You feel left out? I'm pulling up a picture to show you all. Of another project I just started. There it is. So it's that. It's Strike a Balance by Emma Congdon in the Cross Stitch Crazy August edition. I'm doing it as a sell with a couple other people. Crafts Make Foods on Instagram, not Etsy, Instagram. And I think there's a couple other people who want to join us. If you want to join us, the hashtag is hashtag Strike a Balance Sell. And that's what I've got so far. I've got the sun, which makes me think of the Madonna song, Here Comes the Rain. Or rain, it's just rain. Don't know why, it just does. So there's that. This is actually on 18 count Ada. It's that yellow Ada that came with my peacock. But I figured it would be perfect for this. So that's what I got done. Needle Minders by Flying Frog Stitchery. Little Ariel. Doesn't really match this half, but the other half has water, so it kind of does. And then I started another one. Because I'm a little nuts with starts lately. I can't stop. But it's Mandragora. Oh, jeez, who's it by? A little shop on Etsy. I will make sure to link it below. I honestly do not remember who. Oh, look at that. It's an angry little potato. Or me, anyway. I like one of my angry potato. And that is what I've got done. Fabric's really washed out. Let's see, white. Something white in there, and you'll be able to see the fabric, I think. That seems to work well. A little bit better, anyway. It's green. It's called Emerald Forest by Jodery Fabrics. Doing it on 18 count Ada. It's not that I particularly love Ada. I meant to order linen, but I must have ordered Ada by mistake. And that's okay. I don't hate Ada. It's nice. And then that's all I've worked on. A bunch of little projects. Need a drink. Halloween owl. And then I've got stuff I bought. Because super deep discounts at certain stores, we all know. One was I got new fabric for the peacock. Because it came with yellow fabric. And I didn't want yellow fabric. So I got ivory. 28 count, some sort of even weave, I don't know, it feels like Laguna to me. So I got that, and because, like I said, super clearance. Got this one. You're gonna see a theme here, you really are. So I got that one, pretty butterfly, comes on a printed Ada. You can see where all the embellishments I'll be putting in go. I don't normally go for printed fabrics, but for $3. Come on. Can't resist $3. Then there's this one, which I got simply because it pretty much matches my butterfly. And it was only $3. My hopes and plans for these is one day I'll have a house with a bathroom that's not the size of a closet. Not a walk-in closet, just a tiny little closet. Literally, you have space to sit down on the toilet, stand up, spin in a circle, and sit down. There's no floor space, no wall space. Eventually, when we move somewhere, probably I would like to move in 2 years, but I think it'll be closer to 5. We want to move down to Nevada. desert, no winter. No snow. Oh, yeah. Get a bathroom big enough to put those in. I think they'd be super cute in a bathroom. And then, got an owl. Because I love owls. Owls make me happy. Not as happy as peacocks, but they're second best. So I got that. So I needed a little owl in my life. I don't have enough owls. And then the last one I got was this one. Ah! So do you see the theme? Butterflies. But this one is a peacock butterfly. So I've been eyeing this pattern for so long because it's butterflies and peacocks, and I like butterflies. It's nothing that I ever really thought about. So one day I was getting in my car and I had butterfly car seat cover, butterfly steering wheel cover, and I was putting my butterfly wallet in my butterfly purse. I was like, I didn't know I liked butterflies until right now. So, butterflies, another thing I like. And then my son really wanted a craft. So, butterfly latch hook. My son is really obsessed about butterflies. He can school you on butterflies. Butterflies are seriously crazy creatures. So, when a butterfly is a caterpillar, we all know what a caterpillar is, no big deal. I say no big deal a lot. My hair. Let's see. So, butterflies, when they're caterpillars and they start to spin the cocoon, they don't bury themselves in it. They sort of spin it from, they go into a J. I don't know how to make a J with your hand. A J, something. You know what a J looks like. And I just snorted. That's great. So they go into this J formation. They start spinning the cocoon around them. From their head down, I think? I don't remember. Anyway. Well, let's back up a little bit. So caterpillars, as they grow, they molt their skin. And the caterpillars eat their skin. And the only part they don't eat is the face mask part. They don't eat that part. I don't know why. But then they go into the J pattern before they form the chrysalis. And in that, somehow they spin their head and the head pops off. And then they turn into goo. And somehow from that goo, like literally there's no bones, no nothing, just goo. Just oozy, gooey grossness. This headless goo slime monster thing turns into a butterfly. Mother Nature's crazy. She's just straight up crazy. But yeah, so we like butterflies. Yeah. I really don't know if I have anything else. I don't. Showed you all my projects that I've been working on. I showed you all my stuff. I told you about the bat. In the town I grew up in, and a few other things. So, I think that's it. If you have any questions or care to make any suggestions or whatever, comment down below. Have a great day, night, morning, whatever time it is for you. I'll see you next time.